Do you want him there? Is he the man to take you to the next level?
You'd have to say no.
The only guys you can trust are the ones in the room with you. Where do we go?
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the student is truly ready, the teacher will disappear. So the question is, are you ready, or are you truly ready? Because this teacher won't disappear easily.
You have to give more.
Or quietly.
Otherwise, we don't have chance.
You see, he's been there before. He's instilled a philosophy, a process, his process. The process. What is this process? You train together, you play together, you win together, you lose together, you grow together. Consistency, determination, luck. Is this part of the process? What? The process! This process is about growth. This is a process of change. You have to trust it. Back it. Own it. We pay our way. So when is the process complete? Well, that all goes back to one question.
Good morning, North London.
We have a challenge, guys. It's a beautiful challenge. Let's go for it.
Are you ready?
1 second, sorry.
Or are you truly ready?
To get it done for all these people that they've been in this journey with us, because they deserve it.
He's going to be the first manager to get the sack, I promise you.
Do you want him there? Is he the man to take you to the next level?
You'd have to say no.
The only guys you can trust are the ones in the room with you. Onward we go.
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the student is truly ready, the teacher will disappear. So the question is, are you ready? Or are you truly ready? Because this teacher won't disappear easily.
You have to give more,
or quietly.
otherwise we don't have chance.
You see, he's been there before. He's instilled a philosophy, a process, his process. The process. What is this process? You train together, you play together, win together, lose together, grow together. Consistency, determination, luck. Is this part of the process? Oh. The process! This process is about growth. This is a process of change. You have to trust it. Back it. Own it. We play our way! So when is the process complete? Well, that all goes back to one question.
Good morning, North London.
We have a challenge, guys. It's a beautiful challenge. Let's go for it.
Are you ready?
One second, sorry.
Or are you truly ready?
Ready.
Big game, you know. Big game today, bro.
To get it done for all these people that they've been in this journey with us because they deserve it.
Hello Lagos and welcome to our YouTube live stream. Well, it's the big game that we have today, this wonderful evening. Two teams who are looking to win the Premier League this season. For Arsenal, they're reaching for the first time since the 2003-2004 season where they won their Premier League title. And for Manchester City, it could be Pep Guardiola's 7th Premier League title in 9 seasons. Fantastic one for Manchester City after starting the season, so badly, so to speak. They were not in any race to win anything, but they've won the EFL Cup. They look like they're going to win the FA Cup and now in contention for the Premier League title. Welcome to watch along this wonderful evening. Like I said, is Premier League team 1 and 2 doing battle this wonderful evening. The game will start by 4:30. Big game by all standards. My name is Elias Alex Agbasere, and for the very first time, I'm doing this with Joy, who is right here in the studio with me. Good evening, Joy, and welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you. I mean, it's true. We've not done a broadcast together.
This is the first time,
that I did do it. It's
right.
Nice to have you. And I was asking him before, because Liverpool just finished that Merseyside derby game. And I was asking Alex when I came out, like, wait, are you a Liverpool fan? And you need to hear the way he was so fast to say no. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh Lord.
I know Liverpool fans are not the proudest in recent seasons, or in recent games, not recent seasons. I mean, they are current defending champions, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But the way he said that, no, I'm sure if a Liverpool fan is here right now, they will have to look at him and say, okay, what's going on? Why are we that bad?
Okay. Well, Virgil van Dijk scored the important goal for Liverpool. They won the Merseyside derby against Everton. So I now ask you, what club do you support?
Oh, I'm a Chelsea fan.
Okay, now I see. Makes sense. Well, Chelsea are struggling. So
let's give our partners so far.
Let's not even talk about Chelsea. Chelsea lost yesterday. Their game against Manchester United. First off, let me ask you, what do you make of Liam Rosener? I know that many Chelsea fans, so to speak, were surprised when he was named as the manager of the team. Now they've gone 4 Premier League games now. 3 Premier League games now without scoring.
A win in 7 games.
A win in 7 games.
Premier League games.
Looks really poor from a Chelsea side. What do you make of the game last night and the overall performance of Liam Rosener?
Overall performance. I'm getting flashbacks of the Graham Potter era.
Wow.
And for him as a manager, I just feel like it's a job that is way bigger than he is, and it's something that he shouldn't have accepted, because nowadays we get to see managers who go to big clubs. When they flop, it get really difficult for them to get employment elsewhere.
Right.
You cannot always be a Frank Lampard. You cannot always. Frank Lampard is the only one that comes to mind right now after flopping at Chelsea. He has gone on to a lower division club. Came from Derby County. Went to Chelsea. Looked like he was not ready. Got the opportunity to get a salvation, that's the word for him. I went to a club in the lower division that is in the Championship and was able to bring them back to the Premier League for the first time since 2001. It's not every manager that gets a big job, flops, and gets employment with another big team. Maybe you can get opportunities to get smaller teams, and I think that is where he got it wrong, getting this job. But why am I telling him not to get big paycheck? Sometimes exactly. Sometimes the money it is, but it is crazy that you're coming in within an era where the fans and the owners are currently in a tussle, and then you're not delivering results. If you're delivering results to shut the fans up, maybe we wouldn't have this conversation, but you're not delivering the results. You're having issues with almost everybody, including the players. Just some weeks ago, you had issues with Enzo. The other day, your player had to come out, Cucurella came out to come talk about how they are not happy about how things are going in the club. It shows that you don't even have the dressing room as a manager, and that is a very big red flag for me, for any coach. Once the coach doesn't have the dressing room, it doesn't matter if you're young. Maresca is not an old man,
it's not an old
but
manager.
He has the dressing room. Once you don't have the dressing room, you feel that at your number one job at being a manager, because you're called a manager. You're supposed to manage the players both on and off the pitch. So I think it's something that will definitely, a relationship will say that will not go long term. We're talking about Chelsea and Liam. So it's something that I'm saying will not go long term eventually.
All right, Chelsea are still very much behind Liverpool. Liverpool, with that win, have created distance chance between themselves and Chelsea for who plays in the Champions League from Premier League teams for next season. But we're not talking about Chelsea. We're focused on Manchester City and Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium, the game that will go down. It's a big game by all standards, and it's a game that could make or mar the season of either of these sides. For Manchester City, a win for them would only take them 3 points behind Arsenal, with a game in hand to play against Crystal Palace, by the way. And then for Arsenal, a victory for them could take them, could put them in a very comfortable position going into the last 5 matches.
Before that game in hand, to take them 9 points clear. If they
9
get
points
to
clear,
win. And restore the confidence of the boys and the team, because from the game last week, which they lost to Bournemouth, you could see that the confidence of the team, including the manager, was beginning to kind of dwindle. But a win against Manchester City, who are hot on their heel, is definitely going to restore confidence in the team, in the players, in the coach, and in the fans, because the fans are currently jittery and they are having that PTSD of whatever happens when Pep Guardiola is on the chase for Arsenal winning the Premier League.
All right, let's talk a bit about tactics, formation, and players who started this game for Manchester City and for Arsenal. Let me come to you, Joy. Quickly, when you look at the psychological blow that a loss could do for Arsenal, like you rightly stated, when you see Manchester City as a threat right now, they've not lost the Premier League game since January when they lost to Manchester United. That's for Manchester City now. So that could be what may be riding in their favour. That's for Manchester City. For Arsenal, you talked about their loss against Bournemouth last week. They didn't look so good in that game, and they also didn't look so good against Sporting Lisbon in the Champions League, where they played 0-0 at the Emirates Stadium. This is a stadium where they visited twice in the past 2 seasons. It's all ended as a draw. The first one was a 2-2 draw, and the other one was a 0-0 draw. But what does a victory do for Arsenal's confidence going into the last 5 games in the Premier League, judging on how difficult this game is, travelling away from home to play against the Manchester City?
It's going to install confidence in the boys, saying that they are going to go into tough grounds in the remaining games. With the ones, minus the ones who will be playing at the Emirates. Emirates doesn't look like the stronghold it used to look like in the first half of the season, and they'll be going to difficult grounds after Etihad. They are going to be playing, if not for anyone, that London derby against West Ham, who are fighting for their lives,
too,
to avoid the drop. That's going to be really difficult for them. But like I said, it is for Arteta and his team. If I am the coach, I will tell my players one game at a time. And what better game for you to install confidence back in your team, and of course put fear in your opponents than winning again a Pep Guardiola. No, let me take it back. A very hot Pep Guardiola side right now. So that is what it meant. And then winning at the Etihad, that is going to be massive for them.
Massive one,
really massive. And coming into the game, on my way here, I was looking at the lineup and I shook my head. This is the worst time to play Pep Guardiola. Worst time to play him at the Etihad. The fact that they are in form, the fact that they have big blows in terms of injuries into that team. Diaz is not going to be on the team. We have the likes of Stones and Ake on the bench, and yet it didn't look as if anybody was missing in the starting 11. So it's a strong team, a stronger bench. No, not a stronger bench, a strong bench. Very strong bench. And then you're facing an Arsenal who has not won convincingly in the last month. Including the games before the international break, came back from international break, lost to the same Man City in the finals of the FA Cup, lost to Bournemouth, lost to Southampton
too in the FA Cup.
So, and then that scrappy win against Sporting, a last minute win,
goal from Kai
Havertz. And they're going into this game, the fans are already jittery because you're starting a game against a Man City and you are gambling also this game, not starting your out-and-out striker and you're starting a Kai Havertz that struggled in the last game as the false 9. So it's, like I said, it's going to be a really big one, because at the end of the day, they end up not winning this game. I don't want to think of a draw. I just feel like once somebody will end up winning this game, they end up not winning this game. One way or another, But could them be a draw? I'm just saying there's possibility of it being a draw. But if they end up not winning, it's going to be a lot of backlash for him, because everybody will say, why didn't you start your striker? Why didn't you start
Victor
Gyökeres? Why are you starting Kai Havertz, who is not an out-and-out striker? Yes, he has his days, but it's better to not gamble it. But football is a game of 90 minutes plus the added time, so we get to see who comes out top, because this is a game of their lives for both sides, and that is what the man on the screen right now said yesterday when he posted pictures on training. He said game of their lives.
Right,
that's
game of their lives
against Arsenal today.
All right, a big game by our standards. We are minutes away from kickoff out there. The players are already leaving the dugout onto the playing surface for yet another mammoth clash between these two sides, Arsenal and Manchester City. If you're just joining, this is VIVX Sports, where we bring you all of the latest things happening in and around African football, where we've extended it now to bring you, watch along with European football. We give you the Champions League and now the English Premier League. Yeah, it's the big game between the two sides, Arsenal and the Manchester City side. And I'll be your commentator alongside Joy this wonderful, wonderful afternoon as we bring you what's happening out there. The lineups are already out, confirmed by both managers, like I told you before, and like Joy also said earlier on in the broadcast. For Manchester City, they have Donnarumma in goal. There's the man Nunes, the young player on that right back position. And then when you look at the defense for Manchester City, they have the man Kushanov in there alongside Guehi, the new man from Crystal Palace. O'Reilly starts from that left back position. In the midfield, you have Bernardo Silva and Rodri playing that double pivot in there. And in the extension of that midfield, you have Semenyo, Cherki, Doku, and the Scandinavian giant Erling Haaland, who leads the line wearing jersey number 9 for Manchester City. For Arsenal, they have David Raya in goal. There's the man Hinkapie in defense alongside Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba, the man Arsenal 2, who have all been playing the games for them this season. And then there's Mosquera, another centre back who starts in the defense. So Arsenal are looking to maybe just block things at the back. And then in the midfield, you have Zubimendi in there, Odegaard, the captain, Declan Rice. Up front is Eberechieze on the left-hand side, Noni Madueke on the right-hand side, and down the middle playing as a false 9 is none other than Kai Havertz. Joy, what do you make of the lineups from both sides, and what are your expectations from a huge game as huge as this one?
I mean, for Man City, I think it's clear as day. Pep is out to win.
Yep.
No time for any excessive thinking or what's that, overthinking, as like to ascribe to him when he gets to face certain tough games. This time around, he's clear as day what he wants. Yes, he has injury to certain players in the team, but he has been able to outrightly outline those that will stand in their place, and no questions to what he tends to achieve today. I mean, the pre-match press conference, he said if he goes on to lose this game, he would shake Arteta's hands and then go on to pray that he loses the next 5. So he is not coming out to all those fox. I said no fox humility from him at this point in time where he gets to say, I wish Arsenal are the best team. I wish that my players would be able to compete. Nothing like that. He is out to win. I already mentioned the fact that Arteta is gambling, and this is not the best time. Not starting Gyökeres for me. I think it is something to question. But I mean, getting to see Eze at the left and Martinelli at the right, maybe they'll be able to complement him. Madueke, I beg your pardon, at the left, and then maybe they'll be able to complement him. But it's not looking good. I'm not an Arsenal fan. Yeah. And I promise you, I am not saying this because of banter, but it's not looking good mentality-wise for the manager. It's just showing that at this point in time, he's under so much pressure. And it is also translating to what he is fielding out on the pitch of play. You are at the Emirates, you should be playing your best 11. You should be playing your standard 11. Anything other than that is a gamble, and this is not the time for you to gamble, because you get not to win this. They are 3 points behind you. 3 points. They are going to be playing Fulham.
All right, well, there you have it. Manchester City players and Arsenal player with a huddle before the game. You can see the captains of each side talking to their players, giving them the final bit of motivation before this big one starts out there at the Etihad Stadium. We're seconds away from kickoff as the game starts out there at the Etihad Stadium rather. So Manchester City will play from left to right, sporting their sky blue top over white shorts and sky blue socks, while Arsenal will play from right to left with their red over white shorts and red socks. It's kicked off out there at the Etihad Stadium, the big game for the week. It's called Match of the Week, Super Sunday Clash here on VIVX Sports. Alex alongside Joy this wonderful evening. Well, the game has already started with Jeremy Doku going to ground just early on into this one. Arsenal would be looking to win a throw-in, but the referee had given that to Manchester City. Foul, says the referee, deep inside the home team's half. Bernardo Silva will line up to take this one. Should be exciting to see what these two teams bring to the table based on their recent form. Manchester City have been high-flying. They've not lost a Premier League game since the last time they did against Manchester United. That was as far back as January, so they look to be in form. For Arsenal, they've not been so good. They've had a few games where they've lost. They lost to Manchester City in the FA Cup, and they also did so in the FA Cup against Southampton, and in the Premier League last weekend to Bournemouth. Semenyo has ball possession now, drops it for Rodri, who goes all the way back to Kushanov, who would partner Guehi, the new defender for Manchester City, who scored a wonderful goal against Chelsea.
Definitely. I mean, you said new, and to me, I think he found his home. Yeah. Doesn't feel new to him. Just like as every disappointment is a blessing, because he would have been in Liverpool had that particular transfer gone through the summer, but had to wait till Manchester City because it didn't pan out the way he wanted it. But now he looks like he has found his home in Man City, adapted so fast, and he's benching the likes of Stones and Ake, who are mainstay also in that team. Definitely in that team. Title winning defenders with that team also, and he's benching them straight up. So you know that he has found his home, and is definitely giving Pep what he wants for investing that amount of money in getting him from Crystal Palace.
Fantastic one for Guehi, who has settled in at Manchester City. He scored a brilliant goal, well taken. Almost looked like a striker's conversion against Chelsea last week. Ryan Cherki playing him through inside the box to give Manchester City their second goal in that game. But here they come now on the right hand side. Matheus Nunes has possession, threads it forward to Semenyo on the byline, has possession now, looking to beat his marker. Gabriel Magalhaes closing in on Semenyo. Manchester City will walk the ball back to Nunes. Now Cherki, who's seen juggling the ball in the EFL Cup final. Many called him unserious at that incident. I don't know what you make of him. He's settled into another player who has done so well since making the switch from the French Ligue 1 to the Premier League.
Definitely. I mean, for a player who came from France, came into England, a lot of times recently we've seen players from leagues like the Ligue 1, the Bundesliga coming to England and then struggle to adapt to the intensity of the league, to the pressure. Not just intensity, I mean the English Premier League is watched oh my god.
Well, that's a huge chance, and
then very roughly from Raya.
Yeah, David Raya almost gave away possession to Manchester City. They still have possession on the right hand side. Rodri goes a bit central now to find Kushanov, who threads it through to Guehi on the far left hand side. Now Doku does exceptionally well to beat his marker there, but wonderful recovery from Mosquera. Manchester City still with possession. Nico O'Reilly. Ball back now with Jeremy Doku, one-on-one with Madueke, who's back defending. Beats him for sheer brilliance. What a chance now for Manchester City. Haaland shoots, but it brought down, the ball finds a way. He hits the upright. Well, the Manchester City players are complaining of a handball there. The referee says play on. Here comes Arsenal now on the right hand side. Madueke has company, would try to put one forward, but that ball will go straight to Donnarumma. And we've played only 5 minutes of football joy. The ball just dilly-dallying in Arsenal's half. And that's another poor pass. This time would be Arsenal's corner on the right-hand side.
I mean, comparing the two defensive howlers there, no howler for Donnarumma, but I think it looks like a handball there.
Well, I think the ball struck the arm, but I don't think that's going to be given. The arm straight. A very natural position. Yeah. Well, I think maybe he maybe the arm guided the ball to the upright. No VAR check, so I can confirm to you that Arsenal would play their corner from the right hand side. It would definitely be an in-swinger from Noni Madueke, former Chelsea player. Sends in the ball into the box now. Arsenal with a chance, but this time There'll be a block there from a Manchester City player. Zubimendi got to the end of that. Another corner to the Arsenal side. Well, this is where they've thrived this season.
Definitely. That's what I was about saying. For Man City, one of the things you have to be really careful in this game, because these are games that are just defined by moments, and moments from Arsenal can seal this game, and before you know it, a 1-0 win, and we're done for the rest of the day. So yes, they have to be really careful, because Arsenal, as much as they've been lacking in a lot of things, they are known for their strength when it concerns corners.
Well, that's another beautiful corner. Got to the man Mosquera, former Valencia player, but just couldn't guide it on target. That one will go out for a goal kick to Manchester City. Well, it almost seems like anytime Arsenal play a corner, an Arsenal player gets to the end of it, and look at that. That's almost a disaster. Yeah, disaster, and would have been
quick recovery.
Costly, quick recovery from the goalkeeper to clear his line.
Also great insight from Haaland there. That's what you expect from a striker. Always smell blood and be quick to pounce on any mistake by the opposition, and that was what Haaland was going in for right there. I mean, like I said, this game will be decided by moments, either really horrible moments for either side,
or a brilliant moment
from either side also. So we're getting to see where we get our first goal from, as we've had chances for the two sides. Maybe not clear-cut chances as we would like, but I mean, we've seen relatively
half chances, so to speak.
I'll give it that.
All right, half chances already. 8 minutes of football. Mikel Arteta on the byline there, just having a word with his assistant. Well, they have to find a way. That's for Arsenal now. Any way to win this game.
Anyway, now we.
Nico O'Reilly.
I'm getting to remember what you said about this defining. I think it is going to define Arsenal's season, not
Manchester City
Man City, I think everyone had given up on them winning, and
they almost had no hope of winning the Premier League this season.
And they've gone on to win a trophy already. So from going from winning just a trophy, or not even no one expecting anything from
to win the trophy.
I mean, if they had gone on trophy this season, nobody would even hold them, because I mean, everybody just be like, oh, this guy has won a lot last season, and this season we'll forgive him. Going from that particular stand, so on the verge of winning the treble, the domestic treble is really, really insane. So I think anything they are playing for right now, they are just playing for the plots, playing for the scripts, playing for whatever our media giants will end up producing in seasons to come, or years to come, and say, okay, the Man City side who did this in the 2025-2026 season. But Arsenal will be defined by this moment also, because I think this is going to be what is going to eventually break this team if they end up not winning this season.
Here come Doku now, left hand side. Manchester City running through with it, a ball into the box to Erling Haaland. That was quick play for Manchester City. Rodri drops it for Nunez, who has it now to Semenyo. Looking to beat his marker, sends the ball forward into the box. That would go out for another goal kick, this time to Arsenal. Semenyo,
another man who had settled at Man City, moving from Bournemouth mid-season. We talked about Gay. This is another man who, was just as if he was just removed from a square hole and a square peg that was fixed into a square hole, fitted perfectly with the side. Really, really great for him, that particular move. And it's been really nice to see how his career has been in recent season. Bournemouth, the World Cup, going to the World Cup with Ghana, and now on the verge of maybe winning a treble with Manchester City. So it's really been a great season for him, really been a great year also for him, and I really love it for him. I mean, when I say great year, every-wise, including family-wise, because he got engaged to his fiancée earlier on this year. So it's been a great year, and he'll be hoping that this game will be one of those games in which he will contribute immensely to ensuring that he gets that dream of winning his first Premier League title as a player.
Well, Arsenal had a chance from a moment just seconds ago. They've won their third corner of the game. Manchester City are yet to play any corner.
Just 10 minutes.
Yeah, in just 10 minutes of football. Arsenal have gone to the byline 3 times. Rice will take this one in swinger, looking for any Arsenal head. Ball headed, punched away rather by Donnarumma. The recycle will be picked up by Odegaard to Rice. Rice will play the ball a bit centrally now to Saliba. Controls the ball to captain Odegaard, who goes all the way back now to David Raya. Arsenal player still patched in Manchester City's half, waiting for a delivery, but that deep ball from Raya rolls out for a goal kick. Donnarumma would start play quickly for Manchester City now. And just a bit of urgency for Manchester City. They're looking to score the first goal of this game, because that certainly so would put them in an advantageous position going into the latter stages of this one. Guehi receives from Donnarumma, who goes back to his goalkeeper, who clears his line. Nico O'Reilly would allow this one roll out for a throw into Manchester City. Young star who scored 2 goals against Arsenal in the EFL Cup final.
And opened the scoring against against Chelsea also when they went to the Stamford Bridge last week. I mean, it's
been in really rich vein of form, scoring goals. Yeah.
There's always there's a script for Pep Guardiola winning side at Man City. Every season or every second half of the season, somebody just picks up insane form, and it's that decider for you when you need moments of wins, moments of magic. And surprisingly, this season is the young star in O'Reilly who has picked up that crazy form, I mean, you can't imagine him being benched in a game as big as Arsenal in a title decider, and you can imagine how immense he is for this side. So yes, it's another script that we are seeing being written in favor of O'Reilly. We've seen it written for Kevin De Bruyne, seen it written for Gundogan. We've seen it written for different players in different title season winning seasons of Man City, and it's really, really interesting to see, especially seeing that it's a World Cup here, and then it will mean that it will be a headache for his national team coach when it comes to the fact that we can't imagine dropping this person and not letting him go to the World Cup after putting so much insane shifts outside for his team.
It's been immense for Manchester City. That's the young star Nico O'Reilly. Rico Lewis was another young star who was doing quite well for Manchester City before the injury hit. City have possession deep inside their own half with Mark Guehi, and threads the ball to the other side of the area, controlled by Kushanov. Forward pass to Semenyo, loses possession. Arsenal would win a throw-in. Capie, the Ecuadorian defender, was brought in from Bayer Leverkusen. Arsenal have possession now. Their first spell of passing the ball around since the start of this game. Noni Madueke. Mosquera goes back to William Saliba. Just holding on to possession. Arsenal deep inside their own half. Mosquera has it now. You can see the press, high press from Manchester City with 4 players gaining in on Arsenal players. Havertz, good turn from the German player. It's Iberichese winning throw-in for the Arsenal side. A man who hasn't seen much to do in this game, early stages. As Arsenal's number 10 receives it now. To the right they go. Noni Madueke, one-on-one with O'Reilly. Threads a good ball forward into the box, but Guehi will get there first. Clears it to Jeremy Doku. Nicely done from Jeremy Doku to beat his marker there for sheer brilliance. Did too much, one too many, loses possession to Declan Rice. Here come Arsenal now, around the centre circle. Good ball forward to Kai Havertz with a chance now, but the first touch too heavy. The flag will go up for offside. It's been an interesting game. Manchester City lose possession now to Odegaard. Now to Ebericheze. Pushed to the ground by Ryan Cherki. Referee says play on. Here come Manchester City. Semenyo has it now on the right hand side, bearing down on Arsenal's defence. Semenyo now one-on-one with Gabriel. Tries to put the ball forward, blocked there by Gabriel. Fantastic defensive awareness from the Arsenal side. Here come Bernardo Silva. Drops it for Cherki. With a chance to shoot, blocked by Arsenal, headed away by Saliba. Only as far as Guehi, who has it now, sends it to the left-hand side to pick out Doku. And just likes to dance anytime he gets possession for Manchester City. Jeremy Doku tries to send one forward. Here come Manchester City with Szczęki now with the ball. Bits his mark out. Nicely done. Oh, what a wonderful goal from Ryan Szczęki. Bits one, bits two, threads the ball into the back of the net. Manchester City 1, Arsenal 0.
Really, really immense work there by Bernardo Silva to clean up the ball that we thought had already gone out of play for Manchester City. First start from Doku, who started that particular attack. And then you could see that Manchester City wanted to get a goal in this game. You could see them pressing. You talked about the high intensity on that press from Man City. And we talked about this guy settling in England, looking at what he can do against big sides, how immense he is. I mean, the same Arsenal, we talked about him making that particular highlight. And today, again, a highlight goal, because that's a highlight goal.
Wonderful goal.
From Czechia. Look at that. Take on 1, take on 2, take on 3, take on 4. And getting his goal, getting into the far left-hand corner, yes, to be able to get the first goal for. I mean, there's a reason we are wearing number 10. Numbers don't mean much in football anymore. But I mean, this is what an outright 10 would do for you or get you. A very brilliant Barclays kind of goal, and that is the opening that Pep Guardiola would be hoping for, and that he has gotten.
Well, if he isn't the man who wears jersey number 10, and Pep Guardiola celebrates into the stands, joy on the faces of the Manchester City fans in the stadium. That moment from Ryan Szczęki, one placed in Premier League history. Wonderful, wonderful goal. To do that in Arsenal's box is absolutely amazing. And oh, look at that! Manchester City concede. It's a wonderful, wonderful goal from the man Kai Havertz. I cannot believe my eyes.
Now we have a fixture in our hands. You will have to drink water to that, Pep.
What a strike!
From nothing.
From nothing.
From nothing. And that is crazy to. Oh my God! You can see the disappointment in the face of the Man City players. Who just thought that he had started to text the game. Apology from Donnarumma there. I mean,
what an error! That's absolutely mind-boggling that the goalkeeper had done that there. Oh, it almost happened on the other side with Erling Haaland and
Raya there.
But now it's happening on this other side. Manchester City concede, and this is no way to concede in a game as big as this. You can see hands on head for Pep Guardiola. Oh Lord, it's 1-1. Game on.
Game on. Game on. Game on. I mean, surprisingly, it is.
Well, you criticized the idea of Kai Havertz starting this game. Is maybe surprised you.
And like I said, it's a gamble. A gamble can either pay off or work against you. And he's gotten the goal, but I still think it's something. It's still a gamble. And football is a game of 90 minutes. We're just less than 20 minutes into this.
Less than 20 minutes.
And we're already having such a blockbuster of a game. So I'm waiting to see what the remaining 17 plus minutes of this game would offer us. But like I said, Havertz have his days, and this is something that he produces sometimes when you expect him to produce something brilliant. And maybe Pep, what's his name, Arteta now would be thinking, oh, I told you guys, I trust him, and this is what he gets me. Because this is not the first season in which you would think that Arteta shouldn't be playing Kai as a striker, and he does. And I mean, they went on last season to do relatively well, finished second also. Okay, and we're back in attack.
Well, here come Manchester City. Erling Haaland throws the ball forward. Heavy pass there to Semenyo, who went to the ground before chasing that one. So chance gone begging. Was Arsenal again losing possession? It's surprising to see how much space given to Erling Haaland. It wasn't a bad pass. I just think that Semenyo
just knew that he couldn't sleep, and then he just knew that it was not worth chasing it. I mean, the World Cup is coming, and players are also trying to be very cautious of the kind of risk they take in trying to play certain balls. We already saw that a player is already confirmed out of the World Cup in the summer, talking about a ticket in the game against PSG at home in the Champions League, and now Hugo is confirmed to miss the World Cup. So players also have to be careful of sprints they think they can take.
Sad one for Hugo Ekitike though,
really,
an important
really
player for France.
Sad for him, and a huge blow for the Le Bleu, who are also going into this World Cup as one of the favourites. When you look at that team, you fear. So yes,
it's a scary
French team
with
there.
Ryan Checky also in the team. Well, camera pans on the man, Victor Gyökeres, another Scandinavian striker who maybe should be running side by side with Erling Haaland, if you may, but Arteta decided to start Kai Havertz, and that decision finally has paid off. Here come Manchester City now with O'Reilly on the left hand side, drops it for Checky, who scored a worthy of a goal, looking to thread one forward for Manchester City.
I mean, his eyes was on Haaland there, and Haaland made a fine run, but was fortunately blocked for Arsenal, and unfortunately for them, because that would have more likely led to a second goal, because you know that Haaland rarely missed from such distances there.
Well, that's been the case of this game for 22 minutes of football out there at the Etihad Stadium. Well, after we saw that brilliant goal from Checky, you were thinking, where would Arsenal get their goal from? And seconds later, a Donnarumma blunder gives Arsenal a chance back into this encounter. Huge game. City fans will know that a victory for them here would put them on the sailing advantage as they have a game in hand to play against Crystal Palace. A game that could still be lost by Manchester City. There's no guarantee that they'll get 3 points from the game, but so to speak, Pep Guardiola speaking ahead of this one, saying when you take guarantee 3 points from this one, you can only fight for the next one. Eberechieze, nicely done. Has possession for Arsenal. He's a player who can also spring up the surprises if you...
And then he knows how to play Man City. Especially when...
Scores lots of goals against Manchester City.
He knows how to play Man City. So when... probably that is why we're seeing him start. Because I was thinking that he would instead use Martinelli there. But, I mean...
Berechieze, who scored a wonderful goal in the Champions League against, I think, Bayer Leverkusen, if I'm not mistaken. It was a first-time control and shot. Arsenal maybe looking at him as maybe a source of inspiration much later in this game. 1-1, 24 minutes played out there at the Etihad Stadium. This is the Premier League decider, so to speak, this season. Big game by our standards, and for the first time, if you're just joining us, this is VIVXSPORTS. If you love what we do, please click on the subscribe button to follow everything we do here. Do not forget the World Cup is coming, so we're going to be bringing to you lots of amazing content in and around the FIFA World Cup, Mexico, Canada, USA. Kushanov in the center circle drops it for the man who has seen less of the ball in this game, Bernardo Silva, to Doku. 1v1 situations favors Doku anytime he has possession on the left hand side. O'Reilly has possession now for Manchester City, drops it for Rodri, who comes to the right hand side now, picks out Nunes. Checky back to Nunes, now to Kushanov. Manchester City passing the ball intricately from left to right. They've done that in large parts of this game so far. O'Reilly shimmies away from Madueke, drops it now to Doku. 1v1 with Mosquera, beats him again, drops it now for Rodri. Now the pass goes to the right hand side to Nunes, who finds Checky. Possession now with the Manchester City player. Well, tried to be a bit skillful there, would win a throw into Manchester City. It was Nkapie who kept tabs with the man, Bernardo Silva. Rodri. City now with possession. The ball will go back to Nunes. Well, since the involvement of Ryan Checky, I think Bernardo Silva has taken a lesser role in creating danger for Manchester City going forward. He has been used as a defensive midfielder alongside Rodri, who suffered a long-term injury, was out for about a year and back now with the Manchester City side, and that's the reason why Nico Gonzalez is on the bench for Manchester City for this game. Bernardo Silva. City still having possession deep inside their own half. It's now with the goalkeeper, who maybe for many City fans will not like the
PTSD
idea.
right now for City fans.
Yeah.
Whenever he has players from the opposing side close by and is still trying to play with your feet, in the words of modern football coaches. But I mean, they will have to play with him because he's the goalkeeper and is part of the team.
Definitely part of the team. Donnarumma, the Italian goalkeeper, former AC Milan player, he was part of that Italian team that won the Euros in 2020 at the Wembley Stadium.
2021 actually.
2021, yeah. Well, it was the 2020 tournament played in 2021. Yeah. Nunes. Manchester City would be looking for ways to just maybe score the next goal of this game, because I think the next goal of this game is important.
Yeah, kind of determine how maybe. I mean, because if not for that disaster class from Donnarumma, I don't think would have been saying what we're saying now, because that particular goal from Czechia should have determined how this game went on for a couple of minutes until Arsenal finds a very good chance. A good chance they scored, but it had to be from a gift given to them by Man City.
But the brilliant thing you talked about earlier on in this broadcast is the fact that a brilliant moment could decide this game, and a howler could also decide this game.
We've seen both of them.
We've seen both of them in less than 25 minutes of the game. So
definitely, and the two of them happening in less than a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, they just passed the ball from the other end back to him for him to play goalkeeper, and then we're seeing this just a minute after the first goal was scored. So yes, it is having both things. Like I said, it's a blockbuster, because when you want this, you want this, you want this, and you're having everything presented to you in a single football game, you know that you're in for a treat. For a treat. I mean, this is cinema.
This is wonderful. We have Manchester City and Arsenal. Like I said, the last visit here for Arsenal, it ended in a draw, 2-2 draw. And the visit before that ended 0-0. We're at 1-1 now. You get the feeling we'll get more goals in this game.
Yeah, hoping to get more goals from what we're seeing. And I'm very sure that Arsenal are hoping that they are way past that era where they were losing scandalously
to Manchester City
on this ground especially. I mean, they've been able to do that in the last 2 seasons to show that they are no pushovers to Pep Guardiola. I mean, they were always found wanting. They could beat every other person in the ball, get to Man City, and then they couldn't answer.
They just crumbled.
They just couldn't have any answers to what he always presented them. But that has changed in recent years, and I'm thinking that I will hope that that is what will continue on this ground, because it is better to leave the Emirates the Etihad with a point than leave with nothing at all. Because at the end of the day, we do not know how this league is going to be decided. Saying that, it's looking like a lot of rough play from Man City at the back.
Well, Manchester City and the back passes, I don't think that would be the last time we'd see that. I mean, there will be more of that in this game.
Really shaky at the back since that particular goal they conceded. Looking strong going forward, but back
some issues there to sort out.
And then it has to come from Arsenal really wanting it, and I mean, because if you are as potent as you are up front, you'll be able to punish as many disasters that is begging to happen in the back line of Man City. Like I said, you might not get the finest of goals, but getting a goal is a goal in the game, and how you get it doesn't matter as long as you get a clean cut goal. That's what matters in this game, which is why I also still think that Gyökeres should be on the pitch. Saying that we have a City side who are looking not really confident in the back right now, but I've been really interesting to see how much of pressure they would withstand when Arsenal begin to play with an out-and-out striker up front.
Well, hopefully for Arsenal fans, they will be looking at this as an opportunity to have a main striker maybe come on in the second 45 from the 60th minute mark. You never know what Victor Gyökeres can do. And yet again, the back passes to Donnarumma creates danger for Manchester City. Nico O'Reilly does so well to beat pressure there. Threads the ball forward, looking for the run of Rodri.
That was
brought to
beautiful.
the ground. That was wonderful. Yeah.
Leg work, they cry. This Man City side, we've seen earlier on what led to the goal with Checky there, and now we are seeing the brilliance of this youngster we talked about at the start of the broadcast. If you're just joining us, we had a lot of accolades to give the youngster who has been in insane form, and I mentioned that he might eventually be what is that particular person in Pep Guardiola's Man City team who gets to pick form in the second half of the season where they are chasing the title. We've seen Gundogan do it. We've seen a KDB that came back from injury to do it. And now we're most likely going to see Gundogan did it twice. We're most likely going to see maybe O'Reilly doing it, because we've seen how much form he has picked up in the last 2 months, and starting with the same Arsenal in which he scored 2 really brilliant goals against in the EFL Cup, to give Man City their first title, or their first trophy, I beg your pardon, of the season.
Well, here come Jeremy Doku, 1v1 now with Noni Madueke, looking to create something for Manchester City. Breaks the stop there, looks to beat his marker. Well, there are always 2 players on him, the guy that they have to keep tabs on. Ryan Checky drops it now for Nunes. Chance to float one into the box, set too easy for Nkapie, heads away from danger. Cleared further down the area by Declan Rice.
There, we could see this guy lunging his head forward, talking about Haaland, ready to pounce on that one. And it's not someone you want the ball to come any close to in the 6-yard box.
And it's been an exciting game so far, I can tell you that for free. 32 minutes on the clock. Here come Manchester City. Erling Haaland driving forward with a chance now. Threads the ball forward, but a great defensive intervention from Declan Rice. Manchester City win their second corner of the game, and will be taken from the left-hand side. And how about that for a chance created by Erling Haaland? Nice touch there. I just think the first touch from Bernardo Silva was too heavy.
Too heavy for him, and I mean, he doesn't get much into such spaces again as he used to back up. But you understand that came with age, and of course Pep knowing that he needs to be able to manage him better, and I think that's what he has done brilliantly so far. And I mean, looking to leave on a high as he has announced his move from Man City at the end of the season.
Kushanov looks to put one into the box. Chance for Gueye. Header straight to David Raya, who comically sends the ball out of danger. The referee would call that back for a foul on the Arsenal goalkeeper. I have no idea why he was rushing to send that one out. And look at that. It was well, free kick, says the referee. So the free kick will be taken just at the edge of the centre of at the edge of the 18-yard area for Arsenal. It's been that kind of game. Moments could define who wins or who would lose this one. Raya will take the free kick for Arsenal. VIVXSPORTS, our coverage of the big Premier League match decider, so to speak, came between Manchester City and Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium. 1-1. If you're just joining us, VIVXSPORTS, please do well to click on the subscribe button. Follow everything we'll do on YouTube, as we'll bring you watch along, not just for Premier League games, but for other football matches. Last week it was all about Ademola Lookman and Atletico Madrid qualifying to the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League, dumping out Barcelona after losing 2-1 at the Wanda Metropolitano. Arsenal have possession now with Nkapie. Goes back to William Saliba. Now is Arsenal's turn to hold on to possession, pass the ball around. Declan Rice will drop it now for Gabriel Magalhaes, who has an opportunity to send one forward. Well, he opts to go to the side. Picks out Mosquera. Mosquera goes back to Gabriel. Manchester City just waiting for Arsenal. It's almost the same pattern of how they played Arsenal in the EFL Cup final. Well, that pattern worked in that final. They won that one beating the Gunners 2-0. They've already conceded here. Donnarumma is out of his line this time to get to the ball, sends it to Kushanov. Manchester City have it in their own half. They will bring it forward now. Rodri to Bernardo Silva, who goes back to Donnarumma.
I think they're really testing this guy.
Yeah.
Seeing that, talking about the Man City players themselves, because that was one really interesting one for Bernardo Silva to use for him, seeing that he has fallen short multiple times. And that's a yellow for Mosquera.
Well, he cannot believe it. That's the Arsenal defender. Just holding on to Jeremy Doku there. Yes, stopping an advancement from the Manchester City player. And referee Anthony Taylor would bring out
none of that.
Yeah.
And trust this. I mean, I expect that. I actually expect him to do it because he had tried it most game. Talking about Doku.
Yeah.
To be a thorn in his flesh. Now that he's on a yellow, he would want to play that to his advantage and ensure that he tries to make him commit there. Talking about Mosquera, because I mean, when you're on a yellow in the early part or in the first half of a game, you have 45 minutes to go against a player as skillful
as Jeremy
Doku. You are in trouble. And I mean, as I'm talking, I'm sure that the coaches of the Arsenal side are also thinking the same thing and looking for who would replace him or how they're going to switch up play to ensure that he is not at a disadvantage, because currently you are currently at a disadvantage playing against Jeremy Doku on a yellow card. Without a yellow card, you're in trouble. With a yellow card, bigger trouble for you.
Yeah. Well, that would mean that Mosquera would be timely with his tackles. And
cleaner, because that was a very
needless
tackle, yes, and getting a needless yellow at this stage of the game.
Throwing to Manchester City will be the man Nunes, who would take it just deep inside Manchester City's half. The ball will go as far as Cherki drops it now for O'Reilly, looking to thread one forward. That would have been a pinpoint pass to the run of Rodri.
Insane brilliance there to stop that particular one. It was looking too smooth, like hot knife through butter there. The ball going through. And I mean, they are going at it again. But this time, Arsenal are more cautious than they were in the initial run of attacking play.
Nunes. Semenyo hasn't done so much for Manchester City in this game. 1v1 with Nkapie, threads the ball forward, too heavy, rolls out for an Arsenal goal kick.
I don't want to really want to say it, but it looks like he's having a stinger in this game. I mean,
well, the battle between these two continues. It's a new rivalry between these two. They always get into bus-stops when they play.
Not just on the pitch, off the
we're
pitch
talking about
too.
Erling Haaland and
Gabriel. On the pitch and off the pitch, the two of them, because I mean, there's always a snide comment at the end of the game through a snap or through an IG story, posting with the man of the match, posting, oh, we've won this. Like I said, it's a rivalry between the two of them. Something we like to see to actually makes the game interesting, as long as it's respectful for both sides. Banter is allowed among players, so we used to have it with players from top sides too, in the era before theirs. So it's something we always look forward to. Makes you also anticipate games like this, because you know that you're going to see battles like this.
A wonderful one. Gabriel Magalhaes and Erling Haaland. And they didn't start today. Started with I think the situation where Erling Haaland was telling the Arsenal manager, be humble. Chance now for Arsenal. Good ball into the box from Mosquera, cleared away by Manchester City. That would roll out for a corner. It was nicely done from Arsenal. They walked it so well on the right hand side, but Kushanov was on hand there to clear the line. Good cross for Mosquera. His centre back putting a cross like that. It's wonderful. Corner now to Arsenal. This is where they certainly reign supreme. A good ball into the box.
Again, against the City side, who defensively today have not been really convincing. They really need to do better in the way they've cleaned up the ball in the box. but I think this is more detailed as they expect something here.
Corner now, sent in, headed away by Erling Haaland, who's doing the job of a defender there for Manchester City. Madueke receives the rebound. A chance now to play one into the box for Manchester City. We'll be looking for an opportunity to defend Arsenal's pressure just late into the first 45. Arsenal still very much with possession. They'll go to the right hand side to Noni Madueke, but that ball hits too hard, rolls out for a throw-in. Was Saliba there, was searching for the run of Noni Madueke. The throw-in will come now. 41 minutes on the clock. And the howler from this man is the reason why
we are here.
We're here at 1-1.
I mean, at 1-1.
Throw-in will come now from O'Reilly, who's been one of Manchester City's best players in this game. Erling Haaland looking to beat the pressure. Here come Manchester City now. Rodri threads it forward, looking for Cheki, who has it now, straight into the box, tries to beat his marker, he does well. Semenyo! Good block there from Nkapie.
Good block, but I think he should have done better. Again, I just think that this is, that's a hit to a head, or a hand to his head. I'm trying to see what happened there, because, I mean...
Well, the ball was won back brilliantly by Rodri to set up Manchester City's attack. And Ryan Cheki just easily... Well, I don't know about that, but Gabriel just leaving an arm to the back of the head of the man, Cheki, who's fine now, so we'll take the corner quickly.
You actually need to be careful with your fouls.
Yeah, especially around the 18-yard area. The corner will come now, headed away by Nkapie, only as far as Bernardo Silva. Manchester City still have it on the right-hand side. Silva would drive to the byline, but comes back to Nunez. Threads it now for Semenyo, looking to put that one across the face of goal, blocked by Gabriel Magalhaes. Another corner to Manchester City. Maybe Semenyo is beginning to warm up in this one. You never know. Corner now. Manchester City's third for the game.
They're coming up in that regard.
Yeah.
Because of the period we had just Arsenal having as much as 3 corners to nil in the game in 10 minutes, by the way.
Bernardo Silva swings one into the box. Oh! It's headed away by Arsenal's defenders there, but the referee will call that back for a foul. Thought that was going in. It was Saliba who was brought to ground. So free kick to the Arsenal side. And that was a deep cross from Bernardo Silva. And that certainly was going into the back of the net.
Definitely.
The referee stopped play, but Saliba just cleared his line. Better to be safe than sorry. Yeah.
I mean, a lot was happening in that box.
Yeah, because the ball could end up in the back of the net, and VAR could check, and maybe there would be no foul on any Arsenal player, and that would have been 2-1 in favour of Manchester City. And again, the back pass to Donnarumma. He really doesn't look comfortable when he receives these back passes. Noni Madueke has it now in the centre circle. Oh, nicely done. It's brought to ground. Referee says play on. Nkapie. Oh, look at that.
Really gonna
this is bound to happen. And managers try to slow the tempo of the game.
It's such a dramatic.
Well, they're both dramatic managers. I can tell you that for free. Mikel Arteta was seen talking about he's the fire or something about fire.
No. I mean, on the pitch, off the pitch, I think he is more.
Is it
calmer one? Yes, has this nonchalance on the touchline. But Pep gives us memes upon memes upon memes when he's that passionate a manager.
10 years at City, I bet we can count 100 memes from Pep Guardiola.
Definitely.
Popular ones.
Definitely.
Wonderful.
Made a lot of them into superstars. Players that you would not believe would make it that big in football. Went on to win as many as, I mean, Foden has 4 Premier League titles. Crazy. On a golden boot. At that.
For a player who's not even up to 27.
Thank you very much. That's insane.
Well, I think one of the biggest or most popular memes of Pep Guardiola would certainly be the one where he was literally talking to a chair. Just dishing out instructions to
them, and then had that conspiracy theory on social media that he is what's that word now? He's insane. And he sees things. Because and then like I said, he's passionate everywhere. We saw some footages from training where he was talking to Gundo, Mondo. Oh my god. But he loves to win. You have to be extra to be this successful.
Yes,
for every successful manager, they always have their excesses, and this is what is. Mourinho obviously know his. We know that of Sir Alex Ferguson. Maybe not as publicized as the rest of them. Even Wenger during his winning era also had his ex-players have come out to talk about his own. Everyone has their style. It's just what makes them human. You know that they are not machines. They have blood running through their veins and they feel things too.
All right, we've reached the halftime out there at the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City won, Arsenal won. It was a game where Manchester City's goal was one of brilliant effort from Ryan Cherki, who had to beat almost four Arsenal defenders to get to the end of that one, to place the ball into the back of the net. And Arsenal's goal was a thing of error from the goalkeeper. It was a blessing, so to speak. The goalkeeper there who gave away possession to the man Kai Havertz, who belted one into the top of the net to give Arsenal the equalizer and 1-1 in this game. We've reached halftime out there at the Etihad Stadium. Joy, what do you make of the first 45? And I don't know if you think that we'll see more goals in this game, because it feels like the tempo of the game, so to speak, has died down a little.
That is true. But for the first 45, I think it's given everything I expected and more in terms of the intensity of the game, in which the way the game started. And obviously from there we were able to see the first goal. I won't count that second goal from intensity. I'll count it for how last. Yes, for the two sides, I mentioned the fact before we started the game that it will be a game of moments. We've seen moments in this game. Moments obviously leading to goals. Also moments ensuring that we see that some of these players are the players that can end up being deciders for this game in the long run. 45 minutes. Both managers will definitely be pleased with what they selected. Maybe some players have not played up to what they expect, but based on the gamble from Arsenal and of course the strong lineup from City, minus the goal conceded, I think both managers would at least be satisfied a bit with what the two sides have delivered for the first half, and I'm sure that fans are obviously at the edges of their feet looking at this one, both those that are invested as fans of both sides and those that are invested in hate watch, because I can tell you all across Lagos there are places hate watching for a particular team. I won't mention who for this game.
All right, well, if you are just joining us via VIVXSPORTS, our YouTube live stream, you can go to our comments there, drop a comment who you think will win the game. Lots of people are saying Manchester City should get this one. Arsenal is coming to win against Manchester City. There's some comments in there. You can also drop super chats if you may, and you can also click on the subscribe button and turn on your notification to get things from us here at VIVXSPORTS. We've reached halftime out there at the Etihad Stadium. Let's go for a short breather. When we come back, we'll be prepping you for the second 45 and looking at how the game will go for Manchester City v Arsenal. We'll be right back.
He's going to be the first manager to get the sack, I promise you.
Do you want him there? Is he the man to take you to the next level?
You'd have to say no.
The only guys you can trust are the ones in the room with you. Onward we go.
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When a student is truly ready, the teacher will disappear. So the question is, are you ready or are you truly ready? Because this teacher won't disappear easily.
You have to give more.
Or quietly.
Otherwise, we don't have chance.
You see, he's been there before. He's instilled a philosophy, a process, his process. The process. What is this process? You train together, you play together, win together, lose together, grow together. Consistency, determination, luck. Is this part of the process? What? The process! This process is about growth. This is a process of change. You have to trust it. Back it. Oh. We pay our way! So when is the process complete? Well, that all goes back to one question.
Good morning, North London.
We have a challenge, guys. It's a beautiful challenge. Let's go for it.
Are you ready?
One second, sorry.
Or are you truly ready?
Ready.
Welcome back for our YouTube live stream here via VIVXSPORTS. We're getting set for the second 45 of the big game out there at the Etihad Stadium. 1-1. No victor, no vanquish. Arsenal still very much in the game after conceding the first goal out there against the Manchester City side, equalizing through Kai Havertz. So we've talked about this game and also told you that it is important for either side to win this one. For obvious reasons. If Manchester City gets a victory here today, it takes them to 67 points on the Premier League table. That would mean they have 3 points behind Arsenal with a game in hand to play against Crystal Palace. Therefore, Arsenal, a victory here would take them to 73 points, creating a bit of breather, or so to speak, with themselves and Manchester City. But when you look at the Premier League this season, Manchester City, you talked about it, they were nowhere in the conversation of winning the Premier League this season. Matter of fact, at some point in the season, Manchester City were seen sharing points because they kept losing games and they kept giving points away to relatively lesser sides in the Premier League. But that story changed. They've lost the Premier League game in January, losing to Manchester United in the Manchester Derby. And since then, they've been winning games, winning trophies, maybe one trophy, beating Arsenal in the EFL Cup final. Now they have another chance with the EFL Cup, with the FA Cup rather. Only Chelsea, I think, can stand in Manchester City's way of winning the FA Cup this season. The Premier League is also another conversation for Pep Guardiola this season. But let me come to you. We've seen the first half. Let's talk about mentality. If you're Pep Guardiola right now and you've seen the first half, how your team played, how you also conceded, what will be going through your mind as to change things going into the second 45?
I mean, second 45, I am not sure I would want to continue with... I don't want to say they should take out... Obviously, they're not taking out Gay there.
Yeah.
Gay is a mainstay in that defense line. But I think Nunes will have to go because you need someone commanding confidence in that back line, and that's what they lack, and that is what it has shown from them. I mean, you could see that it was very difficult for. He's always known not to be a player to play with his feet. That caused issues for him in previous teams too, under previous managers. I think he kind of had that issue in AC Milan, which kind of pushed for his move to PSG at the point in time. So if you know that this is the weakness of this particular goalkeeper, you know that that's a weakness, but you know he has a strength in a lot of places, which is why you have him as your number one. I'm very sure that a solid defender in the back four there would be maybe change the formation to ensure that at the end of the day your goalkeeper is better protected, and then stop that back passing that you're doing. End it. This is a game of you win dirty, you win anyhow, just win, and know that yes, the pressure continue to mount on us now, because you winning this is automatically not even saying you're winning the Premier League. You still have to win your game in hand. Win your game in hand, and of course ensure that you continue to keep that particular goal difference very, very high, to ensure that Arsenal can sit down today and just pound someone 5-0, and then you've gained ground again in terms of goal difference. So yes, anything to make you win, and I think that's the only issue so far that we've seen with the Man City side. For Arsenal, relatively coming in as underdogs, which is surprising, saying that they are top of the league, and saying that they've been the one that a lot of people have been chasing since the start of the season, and at a point they were looking like no one was even going to come close. They were almost 12 points clear at a point in time, and all of a sudden you are coming into a game against Man City as underdogs. But they've played it relatively well. They've managed the intensity of the game that Man City has presented to them in the first half. Presented it, they managed it very well. Also been able to try to be able to create chances the best way they know how to, because they've gotten themselves a lot of corners, and those set pieces are where they thrive. They've been able to do that too. And I mean, man for man, what we can see on our screen here, you could see that players like Declan Rice have stood strong in this game to be able to outmuscle or try to outmuscle players are strong also mentally and physically, like Erling Haaland, like you can see in this display picture on your screen there. So it is something that you can have to give credit to the Arsenal side for, but also have to ensure that if you are a Man City fan, this is what you'll be thinking your coach should do to ensure that he gets back the lead, as they were the ones to score first, so they get back the lead in this game, and ensure that Arsenal doesn't leave this ground for a third consecutive season with a point.
Well, Arsenal will be looking to make it 3 seasons back to back now, traveling to the Etihad Stadium and picking up a draw. Yes, like Joy rightly stated, Arsenal's last game here ended 2-2, and that game gave Arsenal a chance of picking up a point in that stadium. But the second 45 of the game will be up and running in a moment. Arsenal, the away side in this competition, in this game rather, will be looking to make sure that they get at least a point. I mean, if they get a point, still means that they're on top of Manchester City going into the last 5 games, because Arsenal would have completed 33 matches in the Premier League this season after this game, and Manchester City will be waiting to play their game in hand. It's a big game that could make or mar the season of either side. Could make or mar the season for Manchester City, or make or mar Arsenal's season, so to speak. Mikel Arteta and his boys will be looking for maybe a different way to approach the second 45 to get things in the back of the net. A victory for Arsenal may just confirm things as the winners of the English Premier League for season 2025-2026. But we're getting set for second 45 pictures as we wait to see what happens in that one. It's a big game. We've stressed that part already in this one goal, a thing of brilliance, and the other goal, a howler from the goalkeeper Donnarumma, who is not so good with his feet. I mean, I reckon that maybe the Manchester City players should stop passing the ball to Donnarumma. Like you rightly stated, in the second 45, that would be one of the things that Pep Guardiola should correct if they want to get anything out of this game. Well, looking after the first goal again, Ryan Cherki, this guy, I don't know, where would you rank him currently in players in the world? I mean, we have Lamine Yamal, Michael Olise, lots of amazing players doing so well this season. But where do you rank Ryan Cherki? Brilliant player.
Really brilliant. Seeing that you've mentioned someone who is also his teammate in the French national team, I think that is an honor for him, seeing that that particular player is also on the verge of winning a treble, so still in the Champions League, doing so well for himself in a Bundesliga side that has scored over 100 goals this season, 105 in the Bundesliga, if I'm not mistaken, before this weekend. I mean, Cherki has done really well for himself. It took a while to kind of settle, but I think that was the entire thing with Man City in the first half of the season. But so far, so good. He's been able to show brilliance and show what we should be expecting from him and the French national team come the summer at the World Cup. Really, really love to see what he gets to offer this team in coming seasons, even after this one, because I don't think I want to rank any Man City player with what the output of this entire season is, even if they win the league, because they started slow. Didn't give us the kind of thing we get to expect from a title winning side, and it's one of the things that would ensure, okay, now he's warming up. This is the player I was expecting him to start, but I mean, it's one of the teams that would actually haunt a lot of Arsenal fans. You're playing against probably what is Pep's worst Premier League team in history, and then you're going on to lose despite going about 10 points clear at a point in time above them on the log, and now you're going to lose against them because you lost concentration, and then they picked up a late charge towards the end of the season. So yes, Cherki, really great player, really, really interesting signing for Man City, which is turning out to be something that might be one of the good buys for Pep Guardiola, because yes, he has had his good and he has had his terrible buys in this Man City team.
All right, well, numbers are flashed right there on your screen if you're looking to call in and have your take so that we can feel your pause on the game out there, the Etihad Stadium between Manchester City and Arsenal. Well, let's look at the bench for both sides before the start of the second 45. Ryan Al-Nouri is on the bench. Nathan Ake is also on the bench. Phil Foden, Omar Mamouche. Then you have Nico Gonzalez, Tijani Reinders, Savinho, John Stones and Trafford. That's a wonderful bench for Manchester City. For Arsenal, Kepa Arrizabalaga is on the bench. There's Max Dorman, the young star for Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus, Victor Gyökeres, Miles Lewis-Skelly is also on the bench. Norgard, Trossard and Ben White. So it's been a like-for-like substitution. Maybe not so like-for-like, but it's Martinelli coming on for Noni Madueke. So that means that Martinelli would play in a makeshift right wing position for Arsenal. He normally plays on the left-hand side, but he gets to play from the right-hand side this time.
Except Eze is taking off, and he has to switch back to his natural position.
All right, so Noni Madueke taking off at halftime. Second 45 is already on the way. If you're just joining us, this is VIVXSPORTS, a YouTube live stream here as we bring you the watch-along experience. Alex alongside Joy, commentary duties for the decider, so to speak, Premier League game between Manchester City v Arsenal. It's 1-1 as we speak, 47 minutes on the clock. One change made at halftime. It's Martinelli coming on for the winger Noni Madueke, who I don't think did so bad in the first half, but Mikel Arteta knows best. He's taking the man off for yet another winger who would press all day long.
Definitely will
in this game.
I mean, you need intensity also from your team, and someone to offer that intensity is definitely Martinelli, because I mean, Madueke was doing more of a sweeper job, and you need someone to match that intensity if you don't want your team to suffer from the intensity in the other end. Because I mean, if known to have done that previous games and known to do that on his best day, Man City on the break again, probably maybe they'll be the ones to get the first goal of this half.
Semenyo, chance this time. He keeps
playing it into Saliba.
Yeah, he was looking to thread the ball to Erling Haaland, who was running into space. There's another counter-attack opportunity for Manchester City. Cherki to Semenyo, and the idea was to find Erling Haaland, but the ball was blocked once again out for a corner. City have now leveled the corner count with Arsenal rather. It's now 8 corners in the game, 4 apiece for both sides. Bernardo Silva will take it from the right-hand side of Manchester City's attack. This is a floater searching for a Manchester City head with a chance now. Kushanov blocked. Erling Haaland. Oh, good save. And I think that would hit the upright rather than a save from David Raya.
Really lucky there for Arsenal.
Oh.
First was a save. Second was a block.
Oh, it's the upright. Well, that was certainly going in. But the goalkeeper's best friend stood firm.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's Manchester City with another chance gone begging. Jeremy Doku. 1v1 with Mosquera. The man who has to be careful now. Putting a foot wrong could mean that the Arsenal defender could be sent off. Throwing to Manchester City, just inside the Arsenal half of things. Nico O'Reilly will take. There seems to be a word from Anthony Taylor to Jeremy Doku and Mosquera.
The next will definitely be a word. It will be another
card and maybe a red card. And maybe Mikel Arteta should be thinking about bringing on Ben White for Mosquera.
You don't want to spoil your chances when you know you can save or salvage this game with 11 players. Don't bring it down to 10.
Yeah, it would be quite sad if he's left on and he then receives a red card, because what that would mean would be Arsenal suffering in the dying stages of this game, because Manchester City with a player advantage will pile on the pressure on Arsenal. And I mean, like we say in local parlance, now pressure the bus pipe. So I mean, that could be the situation if they are reduced to 10 men.
I'm trying to think of whoever comes. I think the first change for Man City will be Semenyo. He has not been his best today. The person that comes off for Semenyo there would come in fresh legs, much pressure, and you don't want all those kind of players coming in to meet 10 men on the pitch, 9 outside the box. You don't want to do that to your team.
Certainly so. Don't want to do that to your team. And I know that Mikel Arteta would have a substitution for the right back, maybe in the back of his head, but wouldn't want to rush things. O'Reilly to Maguire, who finds Rodri. Wonderful pass forward. Semenyo's first touch just lets him down. And like you said, Joy, I think this is not Semenyo's day. He's finding it so difficult to get with the pace of this game.
The fact that Haaland is having to come back into midfield shows what is going on there. Doku looks to be holding his own in his own flank. But not Semenyo. And this is not the game in which you have to you drop form, you don't turn up. This is a game in which everyone has to put in a masterclass, because Arsenal are the best team in the league. I mean, they're top of the league for a reason. Let's forget the fact that they've dropped form recently.
Here comes Sheki now.
This is something you expect from Semenyo. What Sheki did right there: drive the ball into the box, then take a pass at the best man available, not crossing the ball.
Well, Jeremy Doku has a chance now, but he goes straight to David Raya. Erling Haaland was waiting for the ball on the other side, but Jeremy Doku opted to go.
Chance.
Well, I don't blame him. I mean, if you are an attacking player and you see an opening, you should try and take it
instead of that.
52 minutes on the football clock. City 1, Arsenal 1. Premier League decider. Watch along on VIVXSPORTS this wonderful evening. It's a Super Sunday clash, and we urge you to drop super chats, if you may, on our YouTube live stream. Also click on the subscribe button, because there's lots of things for you. You can also follow us on other social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, if you may, at VIVXSPORTS. City have possession now. This time they would try to bring the ball forward from the left hand side. Nicely done from O'Reilly. Well, referee will call that back for a foul. Martinelli has injected a bit of pace for Arsenal and sense of urgency up front.
That is the opposite of what I was talking about for Man City and Semenyo there. A new leg, fresh intensity from that player who is coming on with more strength and of course the sense to prove himself, because you're coming in to replace somebody because either that person is not good enough or the coach believe you have something better to offer for the team.
Well, Arsenal players remonstrating. Kai Havertz on the ground. He wants
like
something
here. I actually felt there was a push there.
Just looking at that again, it was Martinelli. He's clearly onside. No, I think that's too cheap. It was never going to be. Yeah. He was looking for the contact.
Yeah.
It's too cheap. Kushanov did so well there to win possession for Manchester City. Doku, 1v1 with Mosquera. Puts a ball forward, blocked by Saliba. The rebound will go as far as Maguire, who drops it for Doku. Now to Ryan Cherki, who has a free role at Manchester City.
I was about saying that, man, he was at the other end of the
left, on the right, even down the middle. Forward ball now, searching for Semenyo. Another poor touch from the Ghanaian winger. Well, we're approaching 60 minutes, so maybe you're thinking of a sub if you're Pep Guardiola. Is maybe just offside, but look at that poor touch.
They had to show us the previous touch to show you how terrible a game is having. I mean, this time I'm not even sugarcoating it.
And the goalkeeper even slipped. So that would have been a great chance for Manchester City to have scored their second goal. But was another chance gone begging.
Looks like the second weapon fashioned against Pep today. First was Donnarumma.
Yeah.
Okay. No, you have to give it. You have to give it to City. The way they are always mopping up chances, possession in this game. Well, they are the home side. You expect that from them, but even at that, Arsenal are also a team known not to lose the ball.
What do you make of Martin Odegaard's involvement in this game? Because we've not talked about him so much. He's had less touches, and he's a guy who can affect the outcome of football games for the Arsenal side. He has possession now, but opts for a simpler pass to Kai Havertz, who goes back to Gabriel Magalhaes. I mean, Odegaard is one guy that could change the fortune of this Arsenal side.
Definitely, but I think it's I don't think I was pinpointed to him. I just want to see it from the angle in which the entire Arsenal team is playing. They're trying to be safe, and like I said, they came into this game feeling like the underdogs, and they're playing at like it. So everyone is just trying to ensure that everybody on the team plays to ensure that once they get the opportunity, they use it. But without the ball, they're playing as a unit to ensure they don't concede goals like they conceded that first goal. So yeah, I think generally that is, you won't want to point at anyone. If you want to point at brilliance in this game from Arsenal point of view, you only point at a player like Declan Rice, who has been really phenomenal in breaking up play for this Man City side. Those break in transition from Man City, and of course the very, very great corners in which he has taken in the first half, which you pointed out to say each time a corner is taken, it finds an Arsenal head. So yeah, that is the only standout player for me in this Arsenal team. I think every other person has just been playing according to instruction, or playing what they've been playing recently. I mean, we saw that game against Sporting Lisbon, and how they just played unconvincingly. But I mean, they are through to the next round, so that's what counts.
That's really what counts for the Arsenal side. They would be looking at that as an opportunity to maybe get to the finals of the Champions League, win it for the first time in their club's history. It's one trophy that eludes everything that Arsenal represents. They're one of the big sides in Premier League football, but they don't have the Champions League to back that claim up. Bernardo Silva, possession now for Manchester City. It's the quick feet and the diminutive figure of Bernardo Silva, Ryan Cherki and Jeremy Doku. It's just these players are worrying when they come attacking. Cherki, Nunes, ball forward, blocked there by Nkapie, who's done a good job for Arsenal so far in this game. Corner to Manchester City.
Corner to them. Better safe than sorry. Because I mean, it looked like it was going to take everybody unawares there, talking about the Arsenal players. And you can see the relief on Raya's face, because now they have to recamp and of course try to stop that corner, which they've done.
Well, referee seemed to have one or two things to say about that. There's Matt Guehi and Anthony Taylor.
Sharing a smile.
Yes, sharing a smile. I mean, it's not. Yeah. I don't think
I'm trying to understand what happened there. It was already played.
Yeah. The corner will come again from the right-hand side of Manchester City's attack. Bernardo Silva will be putting an in-swinger. Manchester City with a chance this time, over and out for a goal kick. Well, it looks like Manchester City are the ones taking corners like Arsenal in this game. They've
and then the defending is outrightly very funny. The defending from Arsenal, seeing how much bodies they have in the box and how they are ensuring that, I mean, they are not punished for their trademark, which is in corners. Because, I mean, an Arsenal corner is a half chance
to have chance to score.
Season, yes.
Certainly so. An Arsenal corner presents half chances for Arsenal to score. In literally all the games they've played this season, they've made corner or set pieces, if you may, something that they thrive in. Manchester City have it now in the centre circle with Guehi looking to beat his marker. They lose possession. Here come Arsenal now on the left hand side. They better chase it. Chance to affect play with a chance now to Odegaard, who can tread the ball now to Kai Havertz. What a save from Donnarumma. Second chance. The ball will go straight to O'Reilly. That was a huge chance for Arsenal.
Huge for Arsenal.
Could have been 2-1.
You mentioned Odegaard there, and these are the moments I mentioned they will peak in this game. I mean, you are not going to have possession against this Pep side, so what do? You also make sure that once you get the opportunity, utilize it well, and you have to. That was a poor try chance to finish or attempt at finishing there.
Well, I think he was just slipping away from the ball because it was a heavy touch from Odegaard, but we have to give credit to Donnarumma for that save.
Definitely, it's what he's good at, which is why Pep has him bought him, by the way. He will not give you the best ball playing.
Well, Arsenal missed one on the other side. Manchester City have a chance now. Semenyo is down to the ground. Well, Nkapie didn't like what the Ghanaian did there, trying to maybe win a foul out of nothing. Referee says play on. Here come Arsenal. The tempo of this game has risen now to a very good level for both sides.
Gay.
Martinelli now to Odegaard. Captain Fantastic drops it for Eberechieze. Oh, hits the upright. And that's a chance for the Arsenal side. Martinelli has it again now for Arsenal. And drops it now for Odegaard. Saliba. Mosquera now. Arsenal still very much in possession, just in and around the Manchester City 18-yard area. And what a strike there from Eberechieze.
Like I said, he loves Man City. Somehow knows how to play against them, and that is one of the things that you'll be banking on as an Arsenal fan. And such moments of brilliance is what we saw him almost produce there. Unfortunately for them, the woodwork that saved them the other time was the one who stood against them this time around, and now he was looking to dazzle there.
Bernardo Silva, centre circle, has possession for Manchester City, and oh dear, I love the tempo of this game now. Nico O'Reilly, and Manchester City just trying to maybe kill the tempo a bit, because if the game is played at that tempo, it, so to speak, favours Arsenal. They have fast players who can hit on the break. Jeremy Doku, 1v1 with Mosquera, looking to beat his marker. Well, he does well there, but Mosquera stands his ground, wins possession for Arsenal. The clearance will come. Kai Havertz, the header there just only as far as Nunes. Manchester City have it now in the centre circle with Rodri.
I mean, before those springs of attack, Man City have done a very good job of taking the play away from their half, and of course reducing that pressure I talked about on Donnarumma, and I mean forcing him to make saves when he needs to make saves, not when he's under pressure from the opposing side unnecessarily. And I mean, maybe that's why we still have the score line at 1-1. I mean, Arsenal.
Well, Arsenal back defended. Bernardo Silva to Semenyo. Chance to put one into the box. Good cross. Erling Haaland gets there. but good defensive block again from that was Declan Rice on that occasion there, who found himself in a difficult situation with two Manchester City players, but cleared his line. And you have to commend the press from Arsenal whenever Manchester City have the ball deep in their own half. Here come Manchester City now with Nunes, drops it to the out of form winger.
The short one in the team.
Semenyo now would look to come forward. Finds Erling Haaland. Strong tackle there. And that pass, I don't think that was a pass. It was almost a shot from Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
Couldn't wrap his foot around it. And let's look at this again. Joy, look at that. The ball to Eberechieze. The control was good. What a cracker. And the upright, once again, the goalkeeper's best friend.
I mean,
steps up to save the goalkeeper.
What was their saviour there? Was the one who walked against
Manchester City.
them in this other end. Really beautiful strike, picking his place, picking his moments. Just unfortunate that didn't go in. And looking at this, these are the kind of chances in which they relish, and the ones they'll be hoping that they get more in this game. Because I mean, we can see that once Arsenal have gotten a bit balanced in this game in the second half, they're a different side from what we saw in the first half, and showed a little glimpse of the old Arsenal. Why am I saying old? The Arsenal we know.
Yeah, the Arsenal
we know. I mean, from the start of the season.
Oh, it's not bad to say old Arsenal, because
old Arsenal is a terrible Arsenal. No, if I say old Arsenal, I'm talking about the
the old Arsenal.
Yeah, thank you. Now you get it.
Well, that was the challenge.
That got the yellow for Gay.
Magay flying into that one. Ball back to Donnarumma.
Oh, your ball.
Yeah, he had to opt for his hands other than his legs. Here come Manchester City. Nico O'Reilly driving forward from that left-hand side. Opts to drop the pass to Jeremy Doku. 1v1 with Mosquera. This time to O'Reilly. Sends the ball to Erling Haaland. Oh, Manchester City scores. Moment of brilliance for Manchester City, and they've taken the lead. It's Erling Haaland who has been gifted an opportunity. He belts it into the bottom right corner with no chance for the goalkeeper. It's Manchester City 2, Arsenal 1.
Really, I mentioned it. I mean, moments of brilliance there, and you can understand why it was really instrumental to have every player at the top of their game there. You could see what Doku has been trying to do right there. O'Reilly also pushing that particular
from the
attack.
left-hand side.
And what you've been asking Semenyo to do from the other
right
side, and you have to see Cheki coming in to help him at moments or trying to replicate what he should have been doing. And once they have it, you expect them to pounce on it. And like I said, this is not a player you want the ball to come close to in the 6-yard box, because he would put his entire body there. Look at the way he stretched for that particular that one. I mean, just imagine.
Wonderful strike.
This was not the best of shots for him, but I mean, that is not what we're talking about there.
Well, Nico O'Reilly would be credited for the assist, yes, because nobody touched that ball before it got to the big Norwegian striker who belts it into the corner.
Did he touch Rodri?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think Rodri missed the kick.
Okay.
Maybe Rodri would have missed it, and yes, one man should be happy.
Relief
for Donnarumma. And excitement for the boss.
Now some of the memes that we expect from him, Pep Guardiola.
Wonderful one for Manchester City. It's all smiles at the Etihad Stadium.
No, they'll have to be careful again, because remember what happened the last time they scored. Loss of concentration from one person, and here he goes again.
Well, that battle continues. Erling Haaland may win this one this time. He's brought to ground. Referee says free kick.
A yellow.
And he turned Jesse. Look at him capping. This is needless. I think this is needless from the Arsenal players. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I think it's.
No, that's dirty.
Yeah, it's just dirty.
That's very dirty.
Anthony Taylor should have a word with Gabriel.
I don't think it's a word there. That was really needless. I'm sure that if VAR gets to intervene, it's going to be worse than that. Because
they have to take it off now, because
it is the inner.
Yeah, the inner.
It's how bad it was for you to have pulled someone and then his inner shirt got torn.
Yeah, take it off and just put the jersey back on. Yeah.
Oh boy. But this is what you expect from a game of this magnitude.
Yeah.
Tempers will fly.
Well, that's a lucky fan who picked up the inner of Erling Haaland. You just go to the tailor and maybe fix that one up.
And then fix it in your frame and say, this was one. And then you go back to games like this.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
just
always
looking at that again, it was tugging and pulling of the shirt. And the last one, just right there. Well, referee doesn't deem that to be a yellow card. It looks like a 50-50 kind of challenge for both players with equal chance to get to the end of the ball. Erling Haaland would change his jersey. Manchester City now with another chance. This time the ball hits Gabriel Rodri, who was also looking to get to the end of that first ball from Nico Riley. And you can see the excitement from Manchester City fans now. They know they're edging ever closer to a Premier League 3 points against Arsenal, their biggest rivals this season for the Premier League title. Ryan Cherki will take the corner from the left-hand side. Manchester City, and so to speak, have turned this tie around after conceding from a Donnarumma error. You can see City players just crowding the box, finding any way to score the third of this game.
That was most likely seal it.
Yeah.
Because that would be the dagger.
Be the icing on the cake.
Yes.
Yeah. And maybe the cherry on top of that for celebration for the Manchester City fans in the stadium. How the mighty Arsenal had fallen.
There's that, and then there's a way that Arsenal is defending set pieces,
which is not the traditional
Arsenal way. I mean, they're playing. Anyways, it's a huge game. They have to use everything in their arsenal.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
To be able to keep Man City out as much as possible.
Jeremy Doku. Too poor.
And he realizes that.
Yeah.
But credit to him. I mean, I still think that he and O'Reilly should be finally.
Yeah, finally, the movement on the bench for Arsenal. We've reached 70 minutes of football. It would be Ben White replacing Mosquera, I suspect, and Trossard maybe so replacing Eberechieze for Arsenal. Well, just to let you know, a victory here for Manchester City keeps them 3 points behind Arsenal going into the final 5 matches of the Premier League season. Doku, chance now to play one forward, but too many touches with regain possession back for Manchester City on the left-hand side. And
the sweeper role that O'Reilly has been playing in
just magnificent.
Really great. I mean, game of this magnitude, but he has played them before, and he had dominated them before, won a trophy on their head, played a side as huge as Chelsea, and I mean was instrumental to that 3-0 win at Stamford Bridge over the last weekend. I mean, so you understand that pressure is nothing to him right now, considering that he's facing a very star-studded Arsenal side in this fixture.
He may be young, but he has garnered a lot of experience over the years. Arsenal win a free kick. Bernardo Silva committing a Eberechieze to the ground.
Kind of an important foul there.
Yeah.
To break the flow, break transition for the Arsenal side. Because everything, now that you are seeing 3 points within your grab, everything counts in ensuring that you keep the score this way if you're not going to add any goals to it.
Well, they've been tagged butlers in recent years and known for giving away huge opportunities in winning positions. At some point in this season, Arsenal were 10 points clear of Manchester City at the top of the Premier League table, and now it seems that 10 points would be cut down to 3 at the end or at the sound of the final whistle in this game. The final bit of instructions given to Trossard and Ben White. Oh, what a chance! And look at that! Arsenal almost got back into this game from Gabriel. There's a claim for handball. And just looking at that again on replay, well, I think the ball hit the It's just the body of Nico O'Reilly. Yeah, no handball there, but almost crippled into the back of the net. And again, the upright saves Manchester City in this encounter. It will be a corner for Arsenal.
What they're begging for.
Yeah.
No, not a corner.
Not a corner. Throwing deep inside Manchester City's half. Oh, they would take their chances, so to speak. Anywhere we do now for Arsenal, just get the ball into the box. That would be the idea, to get an equalizer in this game.
Still surprised that he is not thinking to bring on Gyökeres in this game yet. I hope it's not too late when he eventually does bring him.
The throw was dealt with by Manchester City, easily done, cleared away by Jeremy Doku. Arteta wants that to roll out for his team to have an opportunity for substitution, yes, and the substitutions will come. It's a Berechese for Leandro Trossard. That's like for like. And Ben White for Mosquera, another like for like sub for the Arsenal side.
He escapes that.
Yeah, he escaped. I mean,
it looks like it was begging.
Well, Trossard is known for his explosiveness on the left-hand side. He could bring magic for Arsenal.
Straight into business.
Yeah. Ben White could also bring some defensive security, so to speak, and also some attacking prowess when he probes forward. Zubimendi picks out Gabriel Magalhaes with a ball now. Arsenal closed down by Manchester City. Odegaard will send it to the left-hand side. Nkapie, forward ball, searching for Havertz. Guehi would win that battle, but Havertz retrieves.
Yeah, he's on the yellow.
Trossard. Here come Arsenal. Saliba. Forward pass now to Martinelli on the right-hand side. Threads the ball forward to Ben White, who sends a good ball into the box, but that one straight to goalkeeper Donnarumma.
You mentioned attack-wise also.
Yeah.
He is someone who is dangerous on the ball.
I think he would offer you more going forward than Mosquera will.
Mosquera will, definitely. Saw that in the season in which the league was decided on the final day also, where he had a couple of assists that season. Talking about Ben White.
Yeah.
It was really instrumental to them losing on final day. That's what I would say, because he was instrumental in their run until up to the final day where Man City ended up winning that league. And he will want to contribute again this season.
Erling Haaland will chase. Doesn't get there. Well, to the delight of many Manchester City fans who had an opportunity to put a pat on the back, so to speak. Well done for the job.
Yeah, for the job.
And chasing that ball.
And then for the goal of...
the goal that puts them in an advantageous position. Here come Manchester City now. Arsenal cheaply lose possession. Guehi to O'Reilly on the left-hand side. Here they come now. Manchester City. Well, they also would have it in the back of their heads that the third goal will seal this game, but they also know that if you leave spaces at the back, Arsenal could exploit those spaces and score the equalizer. Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, back to the owner of that flag.
Yeah.
He was missing some seconds ago, but he's back to his space, and I mean, they know he thrives there. And O'Reilly and him trying to do a 1 and 2. Ooh.
Well, they've lost possession, throwing to Arsenal. Ben White doing a good job there to win it. And this stadium is known for great and exceptional moments. You remember the time they scored that last-minute goal, the Aguero moment in 2012. It was at this stadium they did it. Yeah. And also the Gundogan moment where they scored that goal. I think it was against Aston Villa, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was.
Those moments secured the Premier League for them.
And the fact that a player like Bernardo Silva was in that last team would definitely mean a lot.
Corner to Manchester City. This is what I think they're specials when it comes to winning corners and killing the tempo on the floor of a football game. They know how to do things like this. That's Manchester City now. Pep Guardiola just having a word with his team. Seeing Kolo Toure in there, one of the bright faces when it comes to African footballers. Ryan Cherki will take the corner. He's left-footed, but opts to take this one with his right foot. That's a player who can do all things, so to speak. Trossard.
That's
a poor clearance, yeah. Gives away possession. Nunes looking to win another corner, but Trossard this time will clear further down the area. And Kai Havertz with a chance now to go forward. And that was brilliant defensive awareness from Bernardo Silva. He cannot believe it, well, because I think the ball struck the arm of Kai Havertz.
And it was allowed to continue.
Yeah. But that was wonderful from Bernardo Silva, the captain of Manchester City, to chase Kai Havertz.
I mean, at his age,
clearly handball.
But before you complain, first clear your lines.
Clear your lines, yeah. 79 minutes on the clock, 10 more minutes plus time added here for the Premier League decider. Arsenal could do yet another bottling job of giving away the Premier League title. If you're just joining us for the first time, this is VIVX Sports YouTube live stream. We're bringing you the match between Arsenal away at Manchester City. Super Sunday clash. Alex alongside Joy here with all of the joy that this game has given to us. 3 goals. The first one was a thing of beauty. The other one, which is the second goal of the game, was a catastrophic moment for Manchester City's Donnarumma. And the third one, I dare to say, was an inevitable strike from Erling Haaland. What a game we've seen so far.
What a game. And talking about...
well, one Scandinavian to another.
I mean, the man who's been begging all game why we haven't seen him. He's looking to get ready to come join the action. That
doesn't look so happy. I mean, if you're number 9 and you're being brought on at 80 minutes of football, you wouldn't look so happy.
When your team is losing, you're now expected to perform miracle. Well, I mean, the coach knows best, they would say, but it was a gamble.
But who are we to say that Arsenal could still win this game? It's not impossible
it's
to
not
think.
That I said the coach knows best. It's if he ends up coming on to score the winner, would say, oh, it was a masterclass.
Yeah.
Super sub. So yeah. But so far, they are the disadvantage because they are chasing the game. You do not want to chase a game. You want to win the game. You want to be at a winning position.
Sad faces.
You can see the Arsenal fans.
Sad faces.
Not believing in their faces. Or not believing their luck right now. Because, I mean...
Well, maybe this is where a football club would promote ultras. Because ultras, so to speak, at any given time, even in a losing position, would always ginger their players, you know. But the fans on the far side, that's the north end of the Etihad Stadium, they don't look so happy. You know, they're just staring.
Coming into this game, the fans are already jittery. They are already having flashbacks of things that have happened like this in recent seasons under the same manager with almost the same set of players. Just one in, one out changes they've made to the squad, and they are going to relieve this again if they are not careful. So you can understand that the fans are relatively really tired of this happening over and over again.
It's not a good position to find yourself in after leading the Premier League table for many weeks. Jeremy Doku, chance now, ball blocked there on that occasion from Arsenal's defenders, but how about that for losing possession?
I think he's offside now. Okay,
yeah,
stayed onside.
Still onside. Ryan Cherki, Nico O'Reilly. This is what Manchester City may decide to do till the very end of this game. Win cheap fouls, free kicks, drive the ball to the byline, win corners, just to take the steam off this game, frustrate Arsenal players. If there's anybody who knows how to do it, Manchester City, they do it so well.
And a really good job they've been doing on that left-hand side there, talking about O'Reilly and Doku.
Jeremy Doku,
Yes, really complementing each other so well there. And looks like it's a Man City throw.
Yeah, Man City throwing deep inside their own half, and they'll take their time.
From this man who looked to be quiet in the first 20 minutes of the game. I mean, we didn't mention his name once,
at all.
And as the captain, you can see why he is instrumental to this team in the finishing end of his final season as a Man City player. Instrumental.
Bernardo Silva is that player. Foul, rightly so. Gabriel once again,
it is.
Well, It's always bound to happen, and this is well, at some point you expected something like this to happen.
You could tell that Haaland was not happy that he didn't even get a caution after that particular, this is what he's known for. You guys should finish what you're doing and then you come back to me. So he wouldn't even come close to them.
Well, Anthony Taylor, I think, would give a yellow card to Erling Haaland and Gabriel Magalhaes for their antics after that opportunity gone by. Yeah, it will be a yellow card apiece for both players. And the referee just explaining to them, when you have a head-to-head barge, it's definitely a yellow card. Now, the rivalry between the two continues once again. This is clearly a foul, I mean, on Erling Haaland, but it's the afters, Nico O'Reilly and all that Manchester City players getting involved. Rodri also involved in this one. I don't think Haaland is scared of Gabriel, or Gabriel scared of Haaland. Either way, but he just cannot. They are both. Look at that.
Actually,
look at that.
Now and then there's cry for a VAR because that looked more than a single foul. I mean,
I don't think we'll go to VAR. The referee has settled it with yellow card for both players. We'll get on with the football. Pep wants a red card. It's just, I don't know, this guy. What's a manager?
But Gabriel is not helping himself or his team there. I mean, the first time you escaped that particular yellow, you should have been more careful, especially the same player. And you're going back to him and doing something. Okay.
No, Ryan Cherki will be taken off for Manchester City. You can see him just raising the arm to boost the mood of the stadium. Maybe
did his shift, putting his shift. I'm wondering why it is him coming up and not Semenyo.
Well, Pep Guardiola knows best. Look at that. That goal was just brilliant. 1, 2 touches, 3 touch, boom, ball in the back of the net to give Manchester City the lead. Well, they've called him a nonchalant kind of player. He's not so serious about a lot of things. And yes,
and
English
that's the
boys
guy we talked about earlier during the game.
Looks younger. Looks younger by the day. Do you reckon he's lost his place? Well.
Are you sure? He even looks like that character from Twilight. What's his name?
But his name will meet me now.
Edwin. Edward. Sorry,
Edward.
Yeah. Oh my God. Obviously lost his place. The deep eyes, slim cheekbones, and all that.
Yeah, he's lost his place in the team.
And that is not far-fetched from his form in recent seasons. But you cannot take away everything he has done for this team. Also a quality player, and I mean he'll be looking to maybe get a late charge towards the end of the season that would maybe see him get a spot
in the English national team.
That is what every player is fighting for right now.
Wants to do now.
Definitely so. But I mean, he has been to the World Cup with England before. You know that he is one of those players who were integral to that dynasty that Southgate built, that went on to get to the semi-finals of the World Cup in 2018, got to the finals of back-to-back Euros 2021, like we rightfully mentioned earlier on during the show, and of course the one in which they lost in 2024 to Spain. So yes, you understand that this is not someone that is new to national team setup. Someone that will just want to return because he is obviously still have age on his side and is also playing for a team that guarantees you, once you do really well at your club side, you almost guarantees you that you get a spot. Teams like players who play for middle teams that get to suffer it when players like this are informed, because then the manager will have to do, okay, between the 5 of you, who would I now pick after picking the usual suspects in the national team.
Well, if Arsenal can throw in Gyökeres, Manchester City can throw in Phil Foden and Savinho.
I think Savinho's time is done.
Yeah. Maybe a trip back to... Well, holding the midriff, not a good place to feel pain. The groin area, that's the man, Rodri, who's down on the ground. He could be coming off, though, for Savinho. Oh, Nico Gonzalez has been prepped up. It's just a star-studded team, this Manchester City side. There's a replacement for every position.
We have just had one change from Man City in almost 90 minutes. Before we're not having him throw in one other planned sub and maybe one emergency sub due to the injury scare for Rodri, who has not had it good with injuries in recent seasons. Really sad seeing that a player who could win the Ballon d'Or from the midfield position shows you how much potential this guy has or had, because he's no longer a young man. And with injury all troubling him like this in his latter stages, you just know that he might not get to play the best of his football again, especially in the league as fast-paced as the Premier League. Maybe if he goes on to play in the Serie A like his seniors, Kevin De Bruyne, Modric are all doing right now, maybe there he can maybe show us what he still has to offer. But right now, I think it's towards the end for him also at Man City, because he cannot continue to suffer the team in such a way, because, I mean, they had to manage without him, which also affected them last season. They had to do without him last season, the entirety of last season.
And well, that's the reason why they went to buy Nico Gonzalez, who's another good defensive midfielder. Now again, there's always the thing about chemistry in the team. Once you train and you decide that, okay, he gets to play, although he tried, he has played almost 90, you decide that this is the team that will prosecute this match, then you're forcing a change due to injury. That affects team play, team chemistry too at some point. But I mean, the game is almost up and done, but not without maybe a little moment of magic for Arsenal to get that recurring draws they've been getting at the Etihad in back-to-back seasons. This will be their third season if they end up getting a draw here, which is still possible because we have nothing less than 3 more minutes to play in added time for this game, as we are closing in really fast on the 90, and Man City are closing in really fast on Arsenal on the Premier League table. 90 minutes on the football clock. We wait for the additional time here from Anthony Taylor on the 4th official.
Hands.
Yeah.
Hands, my bro.
No, that's Donnarumma. That's Joy's warning to Donnarumma.
Hands.
Pick it up with your hands.
Don't give out moments like that. Concede worthy goals. Not that. That was a terrible goal to concede. You don't want that added to your compilation as a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But I mean, he has played with the very best of the very best. Won the Champions League last season with PSG. So I mean, a little number of goalkeepers who can chat up to him in terms of what he has achieved. And he's relatively a very young man.
Very young,
I mean,
I think he's 26, if I'm not mistaken.
His frame is what always deceives a lot of people.
Quite tall,
and he has been at it from a very young age. Yes.
Became AC Milan's first choice goalkeeper at the age of 17, so to speak. So
crazy.
He's been there for a long, long time.
Crazy.
7 minutes of football to be played. We've already played one of those 70. As you can see, any ball that Manchester City clear out now, the fans are cheering. The players are also cheering. They're walking ever so closer to 3 points. Despair on the faces of Arsenal fans in the Etihad Stadium. They've made their trip from London to Manchester, and it looks like a trip that would leave bitter taste in the mouths of many Arsenal fans, not just in England, but across the world. This was an opportunity to extend the difference between themselves and Manchester City, but we're 6 minutes away from yet another Manchester City victory against Arsenal. Last season at the Etihad Stadium, they picked out a 2-2 draw and beat Manchester City 5-1 at the Emirates Stadium. But that story wouldn't be what will happen this season in the Premier League. Nkapie down to the ground. Anthony Taylor says play on. Nothing there. So Arsenal are charging forward, looking for any space. Anything would do now for Arsenal at this stage.
Like I said, looking to pick that 1 point, because it's better to leave Man City or leave Manchester, something we're saying, leave the Etihad with a point than with nothing, because every point now will count, because I mean, you can only decide whatever happens to City in the game you play against them. Whatever happens to them, you just have to pray and wish that they go on to maybe drop points in other games, and while you also pray and wish you get to win your remaining games. So right now, the only place they can actually hurt Man City by themselves is at the Etihad, and the only place they can do it, or the only way they can do it, is if they can spring up a surprise here and get a single goal here, or even maybe two. We still have time for them. I mean, we've got 2 goals in 2 minutes.
Forward pass now. This time the ball would bounce in the Manchester City box, cleared away by Kushanov. Only as far as Nkapie. Chance now to put a ball into the box for Victor Gyökeres. The ball comes in, headed away by Bernardo Silva, who has done so well for Manchester City. Has been everywhere. Odegaard. Arsenal piling on the pressure now on Manchester City. Dying stages of this second 45. Ball now to the right hand side. Saliba to Ben White. Back to Saliba. Drops it now for Martinelli. Looking to thread one forward. Well, the pass there couldn't get to the intended target. Manchester City look to come away with it. Arsenal win back possession as Pep Guardiola lines up Nathan Ake for the final substitution for Manchester City. You suspect will be taking Semenyo off this game, but that's if Arsenal continue holding on to possession. The ball comes to the right hand side. Martinelli drops the pass now to Odegaard. Here comes Arsenal, and Bernardo Silva once again clears his line. Martinelli
is fighting for his life here.
Odegaard swings one into the box. Chance now for Arsenal. Corner, says the referee. Well, this could be the moment as Gabriel is urging his players to up the ante here. It was a good cross from the Odegaard, and I think that Matheus Nunes just got the end of that one for a corner. As you can see, some Arsenal fans cheering. We've reached 4 minutes of the 7 added. 3 more minutes to go for Arsenal to salvage a draw and a point at the Etihad Stadium. The corner will come now from Declan Rice. Swings one into the box, headed away by Nico O'Reilly. Only as far as Trossard. Heads it out to Odegaard, who sends the ball now to the left-hand side to Martinelli. Manchester City just with so many bodies behind the ball, defending for their lives. If they win this game, then they have a chance of winning the Premier League. Here comes Saliba now. Ben White to Trossard. Sends the ball into the box. Oh, what a chance!
And what a save.
And a great save there from Donnarumma. It's Kai Havertz with a powerful header.
Beat him once, unable to beat him twice. I mean, that was beautiful transition from the Arsenal attack. Trossard there, and Kai Havertz.
What a chance there!
Nearly converting that one to get his brace, but that would not be. Oh,
I think it was a fingertip save.
To it also, but it wasn't going in.
Yeah, it wasn't going in. Without the fingertip, maybe the ball would hit the crossbar. Well, that was a huge chance, and you can see Mikel Arteta's reaction to Kai Havertz's header.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the fan shown earlier. Yeah. Oh my word!
He would have gone from desperation to
happiness.
Definitely, but that wouldn't be, at least for now.
Well, Semenyo has been
finally taken off.
Finally taken off for Nathan Ake.
Oh God! From one man them to the other with the braids.
Well, Mikel Arteta. That was a chance. That was a huge chance for Arsenal.
It makes even the most nonchalant of managers, or the most composed, let me use that word, lose their cool, because all of a sudden he's now jittery at the touchline.
Yeah.
Because it was so close. To getting a point off here, and now we have just about a minute to do this.
David Raya. Trossard. Well, this is not the time to dilly-dally with the ball.
Don't do it.
Trossard now.
Haaland is not the one to do that with.
Odegaard. Arsenal have it in their own half.
Look at the number of
Manchester City players behind the ball. Only Erling Haaland up front. The pass will come now to the right-hand side. Cleared away by O'Reilly. Martinelli will try to take the throw so quickly. He does that to Odegaard. Now with a chance for Arsenal. Sends the ball to the left-hand side. Declan Rice. Forward pass headed away by Bernardo Silva. Well, that was Nathan Ake on that occasion. Clear their lines. Only as far as David Raya, who chased to take that throw quickly. He gets the ball.
That was Erling Haaland who cleared the ball. And
Manchester City fans want the final whistle. Anthony Taylor would hold on for a bit. for the few stoppages we've seen in the game. Ball sent forward. Headed away by Guehi. Now only as far as Foden. And Manchester City may just play out the remaining seconds of this game. Ball forward. Donnarumma with his feet. Only as far as Declan Rice. Arsenal have lost the game to Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. And how about that? Celebrations on the bench for Manchester City. They've done the hard work. They've done the job. And this is very petty from Erling Haaland. Side-eyeing the cameraman there. But they don't care. Despair and agony for Arsenal fans. Joy and elation for Manchester City. This is the script the Premier League has decided to write for us this evening. Manchester City wins the game. The big matchup. And I cannot hear you now, says Erling Haaland to Arsenal fans. It is finished out there at the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City 2, Arsenal 1.
Really, really important result. A big result for Man City. Maybe not as you thought it would have played out with how they started the game. Felt like it was a game that would have a lot of goals. But big games are either decided with either a lot of goals or with moments in which the team that wants it more takes their chances, and it looks like Manchester City wanted it more with the way they played initially. Arsenal left it too late to be able to show intensity. Time in which they showed a little bit of intensity, we saw that they were able to put Man City under a lot of pressure and almost got goals in those instances, and those are things they left late in the game. And I'm very sure that Arteta would be currently regretting certain things that in which he kind of arranged, not even the players, but the pattern or the style or the tactics they came with, which was to calm their players underdogs. If you are taking the game to Man City, probably would have had a different outcome here, but that is not the case for the man who is currently waving panics on the streets of London.
That is absolutely that is the truth,
actually. And it's the truth. This is what is happening.
He has seen it all. Pep Guardiola has seen it all, and this moment could be the turning point for Manchester City for their race to win the Premier League this season. They were down and out before January of 2026. Now in April, they have a fair chance of leveling the points with Arsenal if they beat Crystal Palace in their game in hand.
And then goal difference too, because they're just one shot of Arsenal.
And you get the feeling that if it boils down to goals different, Manchester City may just win it, because on their day they score lots of goals. Arsenal have not been so good with scoring and converting their chances in recent weeks. Sad faces for the Arsenal players and their manager Mikel Arteta, who would have lots of things to say at the end of this one. But as we approach the final stretch of the broadcast this evening, before we go, I'd like to ask you this question, Joy. Officially speaking, do you think that Arsenal have bottled their chance of winning the Premier League this season?
Definitely. I think that particular bottling job started with that particular draw to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And then last week was when it was sure that they would most likely do it, because of it's about the mentality you show, and then the mentality of Arsenal on that day. They considered first, had to get back into the game with a penalty, and then from there on you believe that Arsenal should come back and of course win this game. Then left it to Bournemouth to play, and Bournemouth played out the game of their lives that day and got themselves the win. And that was when I knew that you can't be champions with such mentality.
Right.
I mean, for Man City, it just shows you the difference in mentality. For Man City, everyone decided they were up and out. And when they smelt blood, you could see how their mentality changed. Now you are at the front end of that pressure. You're supposed to show them also that, okay, this is why we should take over from you. You are the old guy in terms of winning the Premier League. In this particular, what will I call this particular dispensation, you are the particular one not to win the Premier League. So this is why we should be taking over from you. That was the mentality that Liverpool showed last season, and I mean, finished off way before anybody could catch on. And they were confirmed champions way before the season would finish. But right now you're leaving it down to the City that should not smell blood whenever they smell blood. And my own is, you're leaving it out to a City side who are not an outright favourite for anybody. On paper, they look so ordinary, but when they come onto the pitch right now, I beg to say they're a different side. Arsenal are going from winning a quadruple to maybe going troughless.
Yeah,
it's possible because they still have to play Atletico Madrid
in the
Champions League over 2 legs, and then end up going back. Going the distance with Man City in the run in the Premier League, and they might lose on both ends. So it's going to be a really big blow. Like I said, this might be what will break this Arsenal side eventually at the end of the season.
All right, this could be a huge psychological blow for Mikel Arteta and his Arsenal boys, as they've dropped points. They couldn't pick any from their game against Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. It's been a wonderful matchup where we've seen 3 wonderful goals. Well, you could say wonderful for Arsenal fans who saw Kai Havertz chase Donnarumma to put that one into the back of the net. But Erling Haaland and Ryan Cherki have done the business for the Manchester City side, picking up 3 points. Well, we've already concluded that maybe Arsenal may have just bottled the English Premier League for the 2025-2026 season. It's been a wonderful broadcast. Like I always say, it's been fun doing this alongside you, Joy, and we did this for the first time, and this was fun. Hopefully we get to do this once again for another football game.
Looking forward to doing this with you more times, and hopefully not in the circumstance we had to do it today.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, thank you so much for coming around the broadcast today. VIVXSPORTS, stick around because there's more for you. Like I always say, when you join in for the first time, you can click on the subscribe button to get. You can also click on the notification part to get updates from us, and you can follow us on every social media platform, on X, on Facebook, on TikTok, and on Instagram at VIVXSPORTS. A lot of amazing things